All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. We're back this week, off next week, back the next week after that. So, navigating the holidays is what we're going to kind of chat about, and we've dove into this last couple years around this time, and it's always a good time to just refresh that, especially for people who are listening week to week, and just get back into what we do around Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of that. And then, kind of where people, I'll see people get off track. I was talking to Mike a little bit before we went live here. And what I'll see is sometimes this upcoming Thanksgiving week can turn into a month and a half off break until January for some people, because it's a 4-day food bender and drink bender. And then they take the next week off because they don't feel good. And then that suddenly cascades into pausing a gym membership in December or just not attending. And then, trying to burn off 20 pounds when January hits. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how to maybe not have that happen and just like a couple little things that can make a huge difference. So, Kate, I know you always have a lot of thoughts on this and because you're always navigating clients through it and like people who are on like specific meal plans and things like that. So,
this might sound like weird advice, but I think the number one thing people do is like fight the urge to like enjoy something. They're like, no, I don't really need to have Thanksgiving. It's okay. It's Christmas. It's fine. I'm just going to do my chicken. And then they get pissed later on because it's like it's a special meal. It's a time to celebrate it. So I think what happens is they try to fight it a little bit or eat super clean. I'm just going to have turkey and vegetables. And I've done this a million times over in the past. And then I get pissed later on as everything's sitting around. And then I go ham. and what people end up doing too is they break down. It's usually like later in the day, late at night, and then it's like a binge. Where if you can just allow yourself to enjoy like literally whatever you want, you put it on a plate, have one plate of food. No one gains a ton of weight off of one plate of food. Real freaking simple. You want to fill that up with like cheesecake and one plate of food, and I think the simpler you keep that kind of like rules around that, it allows you to enjoy what you want to enjoy. You're not trying to calculate how many grams of carbs are in this or that. And, I don't have clients track backers anymore, but I just think the less obsessive you are, the more sustainable it is. The simpler you make it, the easier it is. Personally, like we host, so I enjoy that because I can kind of control the meal time. I don't like eating at noon and then sitting around all day. I just kind of like want to like pull my hair out. And then it's really hard for me not to get into like snacking or just because I get like antsy and I want to do something. So we usually have our meal like at 4 and then that's nice. Done, then you're done for the day. You have dessert maybe around 5 and you don't feel horrible. And you still have time to like visit with people. If you don't have that luxury or you have a couple meals, I think that's what's the most difficult to navigate. So many clients have meals with 2 different sets of families. And then you just have to be a little bit more mindful. I would still say do a plate of food at noon. If you have a meal at noon, do a plate of food at 5.
Sounds great.
Yeah. And it's, and again,
I used to do that growing up.
Yeah. That's two.
We drive halfway across the state too to do that.
Yeah. That's 2 meals, and I know there'll be bigger. You might not have as many meals that day. You might have your breakfast, your post workout. If you're coming in to work out, we're open. The childcare is open. So come on in. And then you might just do lunch and dinner and that's fine. It might look a little different, and to allow yourself to be flexible enough mentally and physically to do that and kind of gauge that. And those meals are going to be a little heavier. Again, no one is going to gain a ton of weight doing that. It's portion control, but I really feel like the problem lies in just like this mindset. A ton of people have got like denying yourself of any joy on those days. And I know maybe not a lot of people love like mashed potatoes and cream corn casserole, but yeah,
I was going.
I know. I don't like that.
but find a way. I mean, you don't have to say, I hate Thanksgiving. Find things that you like, you know, whether that's turkey or, okay, hey, can someone make this thing that I like? If that's just like, I'm really looking forward to stuffing. Brandon's mom is a great cook. So I'm like, can you make stuffing this year? Because I love the way she flavors everything. And, you know, just having a couple things that you really enjoy. I like cheesecake. I make a cheesecake because I want it, you know, and trying to find some joy in that. And whether it's like, we have a ton of wine from Napa. I'm excited to like bust open a couple bottles and just really enjoy it. It doesn't have to be this denying yourself of any joy to be fit. And, you know, I think that's kind of like our whole theme with what we're trying to do in life. Like, you know, even with a retreat, like be disciplined, but then, hey, you can enjoy yourself too. You don't have to feel guilty about that. Now, how do you navigate all this? And I mean, I think that's the tricky part. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. That feels super overwhelming. That's not sustainable. And that's where people might think, okay, well, last year I went to Thanksgiving and I did just have turkey and I had like some steamed broccoli and I don't know, like a clean baked potato. I stayed in great shape, but I don't feel like doing that this year. And then they'll just think, since I'm not doing that, I'm screwed. And really to allow that flexibility in your mind.
I don't think the meal of Thanksgiving really is a huge setback for almost anyone. I think what is more going to be a setback when I zoom out is it's a long weekend that can cascade into a bit of a drinking bender for some people who are maybe like back home, particularly young people. I remember that when I would go back home right around college, kind of post high school, or even just a little bit after college, a lot of the people I went to high school with.
Yeah, they go out the day before.
Yeah, and then they're just around all weekend, and it can get real rowdy. And so that age group, I think, you know, it can go off the rails for that age group as well. And then it's not even Thanksgiving. I think that's one meal you're gonna get a little bit full. I'll get hungry oftentimes. You know, honestly, when we've done it, like we've gone somewhere, I'm like, you know, I don't love the type of food, you know, sometimes like green bean casserole. I'm like, you know, I don't love that type of food. So I'm like kind of hungry, you know, if we eat like at noon or 1 and, you know, it's 6. I'm like, that wasn't normal lunch for me. Like that didn't like set my fitness back, you know, miles here. It's not that. I really think it's...
Well, see, now I like it.
Yeah, no, I understand. I get it. I think that a lot of it is going to be...
It's the season type of thing.
Yes, it's the season.
Like the mentality, like it's almost like, hey, it's holidays now. We can like overdo everything. And I know what you mean, because I mean the OSU Michigan game, that's a big thing.
That's on Saturday, you know, like within a couple days of it, you know.
So I mean, then even to like kind of talk about that, you know, say you are staying in town, you have a celebration Saturday, the early drinking days, those are the days that really pack weight on. And I love to start early like that. It's fun because you can, in your mind, I'll be done by 5. But then if you're having fun, sometimes that doesn't happen. But just to be aware that day is a little more, that's much more worrisome than like the Thanksgiving. But I think everyone blames the Thanksgiving. It's like the longer like tailgating days. And then, you know, once you're however many beers or drinks in and it's 3 p.m., you're not making good decisions about food. You're just like whatever, pizza or tailgate food or so just being careful. I mean, we're going up to Cleveland. We're taking our son to a Cavs game Saturday. And we're going to try to go up there a little early and catch a little bit of the OSU Michigan game. And just being mindful, like, okay, we had Thanksgiving. I'm going to have some drinks. I'm going to have a nice meal there. Now, let's be careful about Saturday. I really need to, I want to keep things clean more so that day so I can either enjoy drinks or have some pizza and not really drink. And it's kind of like a trade-off. I'll choose one or the other. Yeah. To do both days also coming off of a trip, that's going to be me feeling real shitty for a couple weeks.
Yep. Yeah. I think keeping some moderate training at the minimum around it, if you're say you're back at home with some parents or you're out of town, you know, bring a sweatshirt and some running shoes and jump out there Friday morning and go for a jog. You know, it's still not too freezing to do that. And
There's turkey trots like everywhere.
yeah, go out and get a run in and just keep your blood flowing and stay in the, more than anything for what it's actually going to do to your body. It's going to move blood, but it's also going to keep you mentally in the game and in the, like, the cadence of doing something in your normal, like, workout and training cadence to that point where it doesn't, you know, you start dreading Monday, you see the Monday workout and you haven't worked out in 5 days. And as soon as they miss that Monday, I'm going to start next Monday. And that starts to become a death spiral of, you know,
Just get out of habit.
I'm not working out anymore, you know, and that's the one thing I want to, like, keep reiterating is, like, don't let that happen. Get a couple workouts in, or if you're taking that weekend off, like, get in Monday, do the fitness section of the training, you know, in CrossFit class, go over to barbell, walk on a treadmill, just get back in the habit of walking back into that gym Monday. You're not going to miss too much. This doesn't have to be a period of time in the year. I always stress that to people. Like, you don't have to go bonkers right now to get ready for anything. Just stay in the habit of doing something. It can be more of a maintenance sort of time of training, you know. Just get in here and make sure you're doing something and you're maintaining that habit. That way, when January does come around, like, you're ahead of the game. You're coming in, and then you can start pushing if you want to do the open or get ready for spring. And it's not such a setback where you're just like, you know, you're punishing yourself and you're trying to make up for lost time. And that's the one thing it's a rhythm that over the last 17 years of being a trainer, I've just seen over and over again with a bunch of clients. And I just want to see that, like, you know, if people are listening to that, like, a little light bulb come off, like, if I can get someone to just maybe do that one workout that sets them up to keep going, that would be a huge win. So.
Yeah. Usually, like, if I've traveled over the years for holidays, usually we stay here for Thanksgiving. I'm going for Christmas, but I've gone home for longer periods of time before. Sometimes it's just a couple days, but I usually, you know, if Chelsea and I go, she likes to stay pretty active, and I do too. But sometimes it's more of like, hey, if we're going home for a few days, it's always nice to drop into gyms at home. Yep. Like, there's a couple of CrossFit gyms up in the Rochester area, so we'll go and kind of see those guys. Maybe they'll have a holiday workout or something. We'll do one, and maybe one day I'll just go for a jog, or there's trails around there. I'll just kind of get out in the area I used to live and just go for some walks and stuff. Just get outside and just do something different. You don't necessarily have to, you know, keep up your regular, you know, 3 on 1 off, or you know, work out every day at your home. But if you can get in one workout, you know, see some people drop into a gym, go for a walk or run, just kind of use a few days off and just kind of stay pretty active, but don't really pressure yourself. Enjoy the day. Yeah. Have some drinks with family and friends, and then just get back to it. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. Yep. You know.
Are you traveling? Are you going back home to New York?
For Christmas, I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably for a few days. So that's usually what I do. There's a local gym around there, one or two, and my sister works out at a gym that's not too far from where she lives now. So sometimes I'll go with her.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's really good advice. I mean, even like thinking about, like, okay, you did your workout in the morning. Say you have like a noon lunch, just if you can get outside and go for a walk, it makes you feel so much better. Just move a little bit and kind of feel what your body feels like. I mean, as a kid, I think we were just all sit around for so long. That's all you do is eat. Like, I think I just started eating at noon and I didn't stop until it was like 8:30 and I wanted to puke. I remember the first holiday Brandon spent with me. He was like, "Are you okay? Do you feel good?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, why are you doing that? And like, my brother has a picture of me, like, almost every holiday I have to like unzip my pants, and it's always me with my stomach hanging out. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know, it's Thanksgiving. And he's like, kind of just looks like it's not fun right now.
Competitively eating for Thanksgiving.
But I had this like reputation. I almost had to keep up where I would get like 2 plates of desserts. I'd have like 4 or 5 pieces of dessert, and that's just what I did. And I didn't even it wasn't even a thing that I thought about, but it's gross now.
No, it is a combo that is more common than you think. That I'll hear a lot of people that are like, well, you know, we ate Thanksgiving, say it like 1 or 2. And then we all got hungry and then we started ordering pizzas. And that combo right there is a recipe for not doing a workout the next day.
Are you talking about my family? Because it's like literally what they do.
But no, I'll talk to people in here all the time. They're like, yeah, so we had Thanksgiving. And then about 9, we ordered a pizza from Donato's or whatever it is. And I'm like,
When it's time to
Putting
just
leftover turkey on the pizza.
go to bed.
and they're drunk and, that's just heartburn city the whole next day. And so that combo right there, maybe rethink that, the pizza ordering combo, maybe just go back for some leftovers.
And then, just for holidays, for like another piece of advice, like really thinking about almost taking it in every week. And so I'll talk to my clients about this and kind of think about this myself. Like, what day is more important for me to really enjoy? You almost have to have like one day where you're a little more settled and then, okay, this day I'm going to enjoy a little bit more. Or if they're both important to you, like within a week you have 2 events, then you need to be moderate both days. And really just being mindful of like the plans you have and how you want to feel. And that includes like during that day, hey, I really want to celebrate this. I really want to have fun. But even within that, being mindful, if you don't overeat, you're really not going to gain a lot of weight. It's overeating that does it, number one, and then also eating like super late. I think those combos.
Couple of things, just as far as what we've got going on at the gym next week that I just wanted to add so you guys can wrap your head around it. If you listen to this Monday or Tuesday, Thursday we do have Thanksgiving workout that we do every year. So I think we've started doing the workout in 2015, and it's awesome. It's a really fun one. It's like it opens up with like 4 rounds of Cindy, then it's 3 rounds of kettlebell swings and knees to elbows, and then we've got 2 rounds of box jumps and ab mat sit-ups, and then we finish with 50 burpees. You kind of just do everything. It's a fun workout, and it's not super heavy duty, and we've done it every year. So it's kind of like our Christmas one where it's got a ton of different things in it, and you get to...
My Christmas one gets me every year.
Yeah, that's a nasty
I start thinking about it like right now, and I'm like, oh.
So around that workout, though, Friday we have a Hot for the Holidays one, but it's going to be, and we'll put this out on Sunday, but it's going to be like biking, you go, I go. So it's not going to tear you up too much. It's going to be more of a cardio one. And then Saturday we have DT, which is a CrossFit benchmark workout, all with a barbell. So just so you can wrap your head around the training, I'm being mindful of like what we have going on Thanksgiving, and if people are going out and having drinks and eating, like the workout should complement it fairly well. Like I'm thinking about like someone going through that. So that's the thought process. When we have the Thanksgiving workout at 7, 8, and 9, we're going to allow 36 people into each class. You can reserve, I believe, 72 hours out, or it may be 48.
And for the childcare, I might ask for their hours to be moved a little earlier for that reason, because we have a 7, 8, and 9. That's it on Thanksgiving, right? Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna we'll put a post out about that, but I'm gonna see if they could come in from like 6:45 to 10 then for that day. Yeah, just so, and that would probably be a good schedule to have for Christmas Eve too.
Yep, and then make sure that we are signing our kids in as well, so we don't overwhelm one time with 20 kids. Ideally, we want to have about 10 kids in the kids' room at one time, and not overwhelm the one employee who's working in there.
If something does happen, what we could do is have some overflow of the older kids like out in the lobby, and the front desk staff maybe could cover it, just so we don't have to send
we can
anyone
discuss
away.
that off the podcast, but
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But we're gonna have childcare. We've got the workouts. We'll try and get everyone squeezed in. Just try and be mindful too of really, like, we have some people who sometimes forget to sign in. Make sure we're signing in advance, so we don't have a class that is booked at 36 and then we have 10 people extra show up and we have 46 in the gym. That's going to be pretty unmanageable. So make sure you're being really mindful on signing in and then looking to those classes. If there's one that's a little lighter, go ahead and sign up for that one. If we have one that's full, rather than just packing it with like 10. Whenever I see like 10 people in on a wait list, which is, it's okay, but what happens is they all will kind of start to show up sometimes to that class, and it can create a problem. So if you can, just try and move to maybe a class that isn't, packed with 10 people in the wait list, and just sign up for that. So we have a bit of an even flow. We expect most of those classes to be sold out. We only have 3. We've got a pretty large membership. They're fun. The gym is set up to run, all 36 very comfortably through that. We're going to take up the whole gym and have a bunch of equipment out. It's a ton of fun when you see that many people training at one time. So I'm looking forward to it. And, I don't know. You guys have anything to add to the holidays here?
I would, just to kind of reinforce what you're saying, just keep moving every day. Try to be active every day. And I think that's just a really good policy, especially the older I get, the more I'm just like, okay, I'm coming in Sunday, I'm just going to sit on the bike and then stretch, and just, it's reinforcing that you're trying to be healthy, get your body moving, and you feel less beat up. So maybe more lower intensity days, more frequent, and just to keep that.
Ooh.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think too. It's just like between Thanksgiving and the December holidays too. It's like it's just starting to get a little colder. It's starting to get darker now, and I just thought I definitely don't feel as chipper as I do in the summer for sure.
Yeah.
So it's just you just sometimes get in a lull, and it's you lose a little motivation, but just try to stay with it. It'll make you happier.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we will follow up in 2 weeks. We're taking next week off with Thanksgiving. We'll be back the next week, back on track.
Peace out.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.